St. Paul's, we're going to clean it up a little bit here, throw in a little technology. We are still using the ESV Bible, 1 Peter chapter 3, except now we're talking about wives and husbands. In the section before this, Peter had talked about servants. We recall that Peter flipped the script on the household code. Normally, it was husbands first, then wives, last of all servants. For Peter, servants first, wives second, husbands last of all. The role that traditionally had the most power and authority, Peter places last. What I'm suggesting is that all of these things, it's not exactly though Peter is talking about different roles, as if he has some opinion about slaves that we don't have anymore, so it's not applicable, or some outdated opinion about women that don't really fit us, and even some outdated opinions on. I don't think that's what he's doing. I think what he's saying is all of these ways, all of these roles, all stand for us. They're different ways that we relate ourselves to society. And the way we do not, the way we last of all anyway, relate to society is through power, force, going blow for blow. But the first way Peter wants us to relate to the larger society is like a servant and then like a wife. Wives, be subject to your husbands. This was the calling card of a servant because it was the calling card of Jesus, and now it's the calling card of the wife. And what I'm saying is that this is us. Be subject to your husbands, so that even if some do not obey the word, they may be won without a word. That is, here again is society. They don't believe us, they don't accept the gospel, so what do? How do we convince them? Do we come at it heavy-handed, going blow for blow? No. We instead come at it like a faithful wife. Patient, respectful, pure conduct. It's incredibly important how we live and how we treat other people. How often do we think it's very unchristian when we think of things like the Crusades or Christians in 19th century America holding slaves? Well, of course, that was this. That was this. And Peter says you should have always acted like a servant, like a wife. So then he gets into how wives should be clothed, right? No braiding of hair, putting on jewelry, clothing you wear. Okay, again, is he talking about women? Maybe kind of, but not really. What he's really saying is how we should act, not flashy. Being flashy does not really commend the gospel to the world. So as we conduct ourselves in the world, we don't have a braided hair, putting on of jewelry, or flashy clothing type way we go about the gospel. And instead, the way we present the gospel is through the hidden person of our heart, imperishable beauty, gentle, quiet spirit. This is very precious in the sight of God, not some flashy way to go about our Christianity. Likewise, then, now he finally gets to husbands. Again, this was the role traditionally of force, power, control, authority. And look how Peter redefines it. Live with your wives in an understanding way, showing honor, so that your prayers may not be hindered. The roles of servant and then wife, and then last of all, the very bottom of the totem pole is the husband. Again, I'm saying is all of us. This is how we should relate ourselves to the larger society and to those people around us. First, we approach everything as a servant. This is the most Christ-like way to do it. Second, we approach it as a humble wife, faithful, respectful. Last of all, as a husband. And even when we do approach society as a husband, as a powerful, ruling person. We're to do it instead in an understanding way. I think this is confirmed because he sums it all up. Look, all of you have a unity of mind, sympathy, brotherly love, tender heart, humble mind. Do not repay evil for evil or reviling for reviling, but bless. And what does this sound like? Well, this immediately also sounds like Christ, like the servant. 4. Whoever desires to see good days, let him keep his tongue from evil, his lips from speaking deceit. Let him turn away from evil and do good. Let him seek peace and pursue it. For the eyes of the Lord are on the righteous, and his ears are open to their prayer. But the face of the Lord is against those who do evil. Whoever desires to love life and see good days, at all cost. See what Peter's saying here? At all cost, you are to act like this. And then ultimately, although there is often a break in between, ultimately you will see life and good days. There is a break in between. At all cost, you are to keep your tongue from evil, no deceit. You turn away from evil, you do good, you seek peace. At all cost, you are to do these things. Now, the return on these things is not immediate. There is a break, and it looks like this. There's a cross. But on the other side of the cross, what do we know? Loving life and seeing good days. We'll continue our study in 1 Peter chapter 3 tomorrow. Be well.